My name is Chen Xingyang. My metric number is 265350. Now I would like to talk about an empirical analysis of firms' implementation experience with activity-based costing. What is activity-based costing? Activity-based costing system may base the level of activity each cost pool on the capacity of the activity rather than the budgeted level of activity, which is always used in traditional cost systems. Using the budgeted level of activity to compute a predetermined overhead rate result in unused capacity cost being assigned to product. Using activity capacity to compute predetermined overhead rate isolate unused capacity cost as a whole expense rather than assigning them to product. Activity-based costing has been well prized for its ability to provide accurate cost information, improved operational process, and provide sound information for resource decision, product pricing, and portfolio decision. Since the 1990s, many advanced companies in the world have implemented activity-based costing to improve their accounting systems and enhance their competitiveness. Activity is the core and basic objective of cost calculation. Product cost or service cost is the sum of the total cost of all activities, which is the end of the accurate cost of consumed enterprise resource. Literature reviews. Two literature provide insight into understanding variables that determine the degree of success firms have with activity-based costing systems they implement. First, the theoretical model of implementing cost management systems is presented that provides a framework of empirical analysis. Second, a review of the few empirical studies that have examined activity-based costing implementation and presented. The theoretical model. The theoretical model showed that Young developed a comprehensive theoretical model about the implementation of cost management systems that is applicable to activity-based costing. Their model is based on an extensive reviews and analysis of the literature on the implementation of administrative and technical innovations in organizations. This model treats the implementation of the cost management system, in the case activity-based costing, as being an administrative innovation and an organization in which implementation success depends on how and how well it deals with specific behavioral variables. Shaw at Young identified 7 behavior and organizational variables as being important to the implementation of cost management system. The first one is top management support. The second one is linkage of the cost management system to competitive strategies, particularity, quality, and speed strategies. The second one is linkage of the cost management system to performance evaluation and compensation. The fourth is sufficient internal resource. The fifth is trading in designing, implementing, and using cost management system. The sixth is non-accounting ownership, and the last one is consensus about and the clarity of the objective of the cost management system. The next part is from my friend Ying Hong.
Hello, I am Ying Hong and my message number is 273430. Now I would like to present about the empirical evidence on the implementation of ABC. The empirical literature on the implementation of ABC and correlates of its success is consistent with the prediction derived from Shields and Young's model. Most firms have not implemented ABC, but of those that have, there are both failure and success stories. Let us see one of the stories. Couple has done 8 case studies and has provided an insight into why firms are having implementation problems. Most of these firms has experienced delay and difficulty in getting ABC used for decision and actions. There is a large possibility of failure because employees frequently resist initiating the change implied by the ABC information. So, they give some suggestions to improve the implementation of ABC, which are ABC advocates to begin the project by focusing on early involvement of non-accountants who will be the primary users of ABC information. The sponsor is a member of top management, and the training program should emphasize the logic, design, implementation, and use of ABC. Couple conclude that success with ABC primarily depends on effectively dealing with the same behavioral and organizational variables that are in Shields and Young's models. Next, we will discuss about the predictions. Based on the theoretical models and the empirical evidence presented, 5 predictions are stated and tested with the survey data. The first prediction is there is significant variation in the degree of success firms have with ABC. Second prediction is several behavioral and organizational variables can explain significant variation in ABC success. The third prediction is technical variables will not explain significant variation in one ABC success. The fourth prediction is ABC implementation variables are used in subsets consisting of the behavioral and organizational variables or the technical variables. The fifth prediction is the subset of behavioral and the organizational implementation variables explain more variation in ABC success than do the subsets of the technical implementation variables. Then we will discuss about the survey method. A mail-out survey was used to collect information to test these 5 predictions. The survey gathered information on characteristics of 143 firms' ABC implementation and their degree of ABC success. A mail survey was used for 2 reasons. The first reason is to complement this study by collecting information from a broader cross-section of firms, as existing empirical research primarily has used a field study approach which involves a limited number of firms only. Second reason is to provide an initial analysis of a relatively large sample of firms' experience with ABC, which can serve as a guide for more detailed and precise studies. Then we continue to discuss about the measurement of variables. A simple and direct approach was used to measure the variables in the survey. Each variable was measured by a response to a single statement. There are 2 types of variables. The first is independent variables and the second is dependent variables. Let us see the independent variables. There are 17 independent variables in the survey. Each respondent was asked to rate the degree to which is present for the firm's ABC initiative on a 7-point scale, scored by 1 is extremely low and 7 is extremely high. Next is the dependent variables. ABC success was measured in a direct manner by responses to 2 questions. The first question was, how successful do you believe the ABC initiative in your firm has been? With a 7-point scale, scored by 1 is extremely unsuccessful and 7 is extremely successful. Second, ABC success was measured by asking whether a financial benefit had or had not been received from ABC. So these are the 70 independent variables in the survey. That's all from me. I would like to pass the presentation to the next presenter, Furoteng. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Furoteng. My metric number is 273285. Now we discuss about the survey results. The results of this survey will be presented in the following order. Now we discuss about the characteristic of the firm. There were 143 firms in this survey. Their sales will range from 1 million to 32 billions. They had 250,000 employees, and their industry were classified into 4 categories, which were commercial manufacturing, commercial non-manufacturing, defense contract, and non-defense government contract. Now we discuss about the characteristic of the respondent. The respondent had a job title such as accounting manager, operation manager, CFO, and vice president of operations. In terms of job position type, they were primarily financial, secondary operations, or equally financial and operations. In the ABC implementations, the respondent played a role such as facilitator, leader, and mentor. Their professional work experience will range from 2 to 40 years, while their involvement with ABC will range from 1 to 20 years. Now we discuss about the characteristic of the ABC system. First, the age of the system was ranged from 1 to 74 months, while each firm has around 0 to 23 ABC cost system, and the table also showed 2 important results. First, the table showed that the earlier the firms use ABC system, the less cost they process. And second, each year ABC is used, the median percentage was increased. The following characteristic is the objective of ABC. In this survey, the initial 18 objectives have been aggregated into 6 as shown in the table. In order to indicate the relative importance of this objective, respondents were required to allocate 100 points respectively among their original and current objectives, and the results of the allocation show that the first 2 objectives remain the same for original and current objectives, but their percentage of importance has decreased. At the same time, the importance of another objective has increased, which was the cost of processes. The current status of ABC was being measured on 7-point scales, and the result shows that there was a great dispersion in the work completed on 4 purposes of ABC. The most completed purpose was activity analysis, followed by product costing, re-engineering, and performance measurement. And the future objective of ABC was also being measured on the 7-point scales, and the result shows that the objective with highest means was product costing, followed by activity analysis, re-engineering, and performance measurement. Now we discuss about the ABC implementations variables. There were 17 variables listed in the order of descending mean, and the table shows 2 important results. First, there was a wide variations, and second, there was a wide dispersion, and both of them were among the 17 variables in their degree of presence. For example, we can identify the 5 most present variables and the 5 least present variables from the table. In order to see if there are any patterns among the variables, a factor analysis was used and has identified 5 factors which explain about 64% of the variations. There are 5 dimensions among the factors with different labels. The first dimension has 7 variables and labeled as organizational support and coherence. The second has 3 variables and labeled as training. The third has 4 variables and labeled as external consultant engagement. The fourth had 2 variables and labeled as ABC software. The last dimension had only 1 variable, which was accounting ownership. The results of the factor analysis show that this firm implemented ABC by using the 17 variables in 5 distinct subsets. The first 2 subsets comprise 10 behavioral and organizational variables. They explain 40% of the variance. The 70% was explained by the third and fourth subsets, which comprise 4 technical and 2 behavioral and organizational variables. The balance 7% out of 64% was explained by the last subset, which had only 1 variable. Overall, these results were consistent with the fourth predictions, which state that ABC implementation variables are used in subsets consisting of the behavioral and organizational variables or the technical variables. Now I will pass to my member, Tan Vijay, to continue explain about the remaining part of survey results. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tan Vijay and metric number 273110. Now I would like to present ABC success and financial benefits. Chart S shows that there was considerable relation among the respondents in degree to which they believe ABC was successful, but most of the rating were for the scale point of 3 to 6 with a mean of 4.35. This result indicated that, in total, there was considerable diversity in firm success with ABC, and on average, firm had a moderate level of success. Considering whether the firm had realized a financial benefits from ABC, 75% indicated that they had, but 25% had not received a financial benefits. The result of wide relation in the degree success firm experienced with ABC was consistent with the first prediction. Next, I would like to present correlate of ABC success. ABC success was not significantly which is associated with any of the characteristics of the firm, but it was associated with some of the characteristics of ABC system. The current work status of ABC system was significantly correlated with the ABC success like performance measurement, activity analysis, product costing, and re-engineering. ABC success was significantly correlated with the percentage of cost processed by ABC for each of the 5 years, with fast correlation range from 0.32 to 0.55. Of the 6 original and 6 future objectives, only in the 2 cases where performance measurement was the ABC objective, there was significant correlation with ABC success. There is original objective with R equal to 0.19 and current R equal to 0.20. Overall, the results indicated that success with ABC was most frequently associated with using ABC for performance measurement, in contrast to its much discussed use of product costing. Next, I would like to continue my presentation with correlation of implementation variables. Table 9 shows the application correlation matrix of the 70 implementation variables. 12 of the 17 variables had correlation with ABC success that were highly significantly stated in the table. None of the correlation for the technical variables were significantly correlated with ABC success. This result consistent with the second and the third prediction, since only the behavioral and organization but not the technical variables are significantly associated with ABC success. Those implementation variables that were individually correlated with ABC success will enter as the independence variables in a stepwise regression analysis with ABC success as the dependent variables. Table then shows that this regression explains 51% operation in ABC success and the 5 variables were statistically significant. A desirable quality of an ABC implementation would be to have those variables that were most associated with ABC success be the ones that had highest degree of presence during implementation. For these 70 implementation variables, the rank correlation between their Pearson correlation, ABC success, and degree to which they were present was 0.05, which were not significant. Inspection of Table 6 and 9 indicated that 5 variables most correlated with ABC success. 3 were present less than they would be expected to be based on their correlation with ABC success, which linked to quality initiative, adequate internal resources, and non-accounting ownership. And 2 were present more than they would be expected to be based on their relative low importance to ABC success, such as CAN software and accounting ownership. Finally, a multiple regression analysis was performed to examine which of the 5 factors from the factor analysis in Table 7 that provided significant explanation of ABC success in Table 11. The regression model was significant and explained 50% of the variance in ABC success, but only the first 2 factors provided significant explanation of ABC success. Thus, ABC success increased with increase in organizational support and training. These results supported prediction 5 because only the factor comprised of behavioral and organizational variables explain significant variation in ABC success. Now, I would like to pass the next presentation to my friend Xiang Yi.
My name is Ng Xiang Yi, metric number 273345. Now, I would like to continue the presentation with correlation with received financial benefit. This table shows that receiving a financial benefit was significantly P less than 0.05 and positively correlated with 10 of the implementation variables, all of which were behavioral and organizational variables. The variables are top management support, consensus about ABC objectives, link to competitive strategy, link to quality initiative, link to JIT or speed initiatives, training in designing ABC, training in implementing ABC, training in using ABC, non-accounting ownership, and link to performance evaluation and compensation. Since the dependent variable was dichotomously scaled, logic or probit were used. The logic model uses something called the cumulative distribution function of the logistic distribution, while the probit model uses something called the cumulative distribution function of the standard normal distribution. For this sample, the logic and probit results are qualitatively identical to the regression result. These results supported the second and third prediction because only the behavioral and organizational variables were associated with having received a financial benefit from ABC. A stepwise multiple regression was performed using these variables as the independent variables and financial benefit as the dichotomously scale dependent variable. A dichotomous scale is a two-point scale which presents options that are absolutely opposite each other. This type of response scale does not give the respondent an opportunity to be neutral on his answer in a question. Since the financial benefit variable was dichotomously scaled, the tests also were performed and those results indicated that the same implementation variable had significant differences in their means depending on whether a financial benefit had or had not been received. Next, I will talk about the discussion of results. This exploratory study has provided empirical evidence on 143 firms' experience with ABC by testing 5 predictions. The profile of a typical firm that has experience with ABC is as follows. ABC has been used for almost 2 years and its 2 ABC system process about 50% of the firm's total cost. There is consensus about clear and precise objective for ABC. The original ABC objective was to provide product cost information and the current objective is to provide both product cost and process cost information. While ABC has top management support, it is a standalone system owned by the accounting department that uses CAM software. It is not strongly linked to quality and speed strategies or to performance evaluation and reward system. Slightly more ABC implementation training is provided than training in using or designing ABC system. Consistent with the first prediction, there is wide variation in the degree of success or failure and financial benefit or lack of benefit that firms report their experience with ABC. On average, they have a moderate level of success and have received a financial benefit from ABC. Consistent with the second and third prediction, ABC success is associated with behavioral and organizational implementation variables but not with technical implementation variables. Considering the result of several statistical tests, such implementation variables independently are significantly associated with ABC success or receiving a financial benefit from ABC. The variables are top management support, linkage to competitive strategies, particularly quality and JIT or speed, linkage to performance evaluation and compensation, training in implementing ABC, non-accounting ownership, and resources. Consistent with the fourth prediction, the implementation variables are used in distinct subsets. The 2 subsets consisting of the behavioral and organizational variables provided the largest explanation of the variance within the 17 implementation variables. Consistent with the fifth prediction, The behavioral and organizational variables explain a significant portion of the variation in ABC success, while the technical implementation variables did not. In summary, this paper has contributed to improving practice by identifying a set of variables that can be used as a behavioral implementation strategy to improve success with ABC. It also has provided evidence to support the prior related research and to identify direction for future research. Thank you.